you've got really nice standing posture, heels underneath your knees, underneath the bony parts of your hips, just making sure that you haven't locked your knees out. So always find just that little bit of softness in your knees, so your thighs aren't switching on, they're relaxed as well. Just bringing your pelvis into that neutral position in between your tip and your tail, so tuck under, tip up, and just settle in between. So just feel like you're just trying to drop your tailbone down towards your heels. Lots of length in your spine as always. We open the chest, the front of the shoulders, collarbones wide, the ribs just gently softening down towards your hips. Shoulders back and down, then we can just make that gentle connection to your center. So just drawing in and lifting up, so you've got that band of support all the way around your middle. So let's just start to take a little bit of focus onto your breathing. So as you breathe in through your nose into the sides and the back of your rib cage. Just bring your shoulders towards up like this and slide your shoulder blades back and down as you breathe out. Let's breathing in and breathing out. So a little bit of tension maybe as the shoulders come up, and slide all that tension away as your shoulder blades slide down. Remember, we're breathing into our sides of the ribs. Let's add in, see how you go. As you roll your shoulders, can you just lift your heels away from the floor? As your arms come by your sides, just drop your heels, shoulder roll with that little heel raise, just finding that little bit balance there. Use your core, use those abdominal muscles there, pulling in and lifting up. That's going to help you with your stability. Or just keep your feet on the floor if you want to. Let's make that a little bit bigger. Let's bring your arms up, circle the arms wider side and down as you bring your heels back down onto the floor. Breathing in, reach up, shoulders stay way away from ears, circle the arms wide and bring them down. And go again, nice long spine, try not to lean forwards or backwards. So just getting our balance there. Lifting up a little bit higher with the heels if you can each time. Let's do one more. See how high you can go without toppling over. And then bring your arms wide to side and all the way down and roll your shoulders in. Just settle your shoulder blades down towards the base of your spine, that soft V shape. Breathe in. As you breathe out, we're going to reach the left fingertips down towards, we're taking a side bend. This time as your right elbow hikes up towards the ceiling. Long arms both down by your sides. Your right elbow, left elbow even pulls up as your right fingertip, just reaching down. Just stretching sideways, just flexing your spine sideways, reaching down and pulling up. Let's change that a little bit in a minute. See how you go with this. We're going to reach the left arm towards the left side wall. Look along your left fingertips and bring the arm down. Then go the other way. Your left elbow can still pull up as we reach your right arm wide to the side. Just looking along your arm. See if you can just lift the right foot off the floor as you reach your left arm wide to the sides without leaning forwards or backwards, or just slide your toes on the floor if you want to. Shoulders down, slide your left foot away, lift the left leg up as you reach to the right, looking along your right fingertips. Not so easy. Let's go again. Reaching wide, lifting up. And go again. I think there seems to be just something in the waiting room there. I'm not sure. Let's do one more of those each way, reaching away to the left, lift your right leg up, maybe a little bit high, keep your foot on the floor. If you're really wobbly, let's go again. Lift and reach. Well done, foot down, arm down. Just take a little bit of shoulder roll there. I think they're in. Roll your shoulders, slide them back and down. Pulling in through your center. Breathe in. As you breathe out, just drop your chin towards your chest. Let me just let these other people in. So a few more people logging in online. So chin, let's do a little bit of a spine. I'm going to stand aside, but just watch how we go. So nice and slowly, just round to the shoulders, the mid back, the upper back, pulling in, navel to spine, coming down into that forward fold. If you've only just joined in, be really careful here. We're just still warming up nose towards your knees. Big bend in the knees if you need to. Breathe in, pull your tummy in tight. Navel to spine, rebuild your spine, stand nice and tall at the top. You don't need to go down as far as that. Roll your shoulders, lift your arms up, look up at the ceiling. Still looking up, take your arms wide to the side, look forwards as your arms come down towards your hips. Breathe in as you go. Let's do that, rolling down through your spine again now. If you can, just let your arms hang like a ragdoll arm. Ragdoll's arms, look towards your legs, toggle head towards where you might be bending your knees a lot. You might only have gone halfway down. Let's come up again. Getting that warmth into the back of the legs, into our spines. Lift your arms up, look up. Keep looking up as your arms reach wide. Look forwards as your hands come down towards your hips. Breathe in, let's breathe out. Let's go down once more. So maybe you can keep your legs a little bit straight. The more repetitions we do, the warmer we get in our muscles. The longer the muscles become, it might become a little bit easier. And restack. Let's lift the arms up again. Just stretch up, look up, still looking up. The arms come wide, then we look forwards and bring your arms all the way around and down by your sides. Let's take the arms wide. So just put your hands together over your head. Draw your hands down towards the center of your chest, palms to breastbone, fingertips to ceiling. Elbows more or less in line with the heels of your hands. Breathe in as you back. Let's take a twist in our spine now. So your upper body, your face, your ribs, your chest, your hands are going towards that left side wall. Coming back to center, going in one piece from the waist upwards, side to side. Your feet are glued to the floor. Your tummy's pulling in tight. Long spine, you're reaching up through the top of your head. So really good, a very controlled rotation of your spine. So no jerking, it's a really nice smooth movement. Little bit of softness in the knees as always. Try not to lock your knees out. Back to center last time. Let's go to the right. Come back to center. Let's again take a little stretch. Fingertips to ceiling, hands together. Then open your arms wide again. Pull wide. Reach your arms down by the side of your hips. Roll your shoulders. Breathe in. As you breathe out, sit back and down in a squat. Reach your arms forward. Sit bones behind you, down towards the floor. Push into heels. Squeeze your glutes, your butt cheeks as you stand tall. Sit back and down. You can keep it small. You can make it a little bit bigger. We can make it even bigger if you want to. Sit back and down, reach your fingertips to the ceiling. As you breathe in, we're going to reach the fingertips to the ceiling. Circle your arms wide side and slowly float them down by your hips. Sit down, reach forwards, and if you can, take your arms a little bit higher. Push into your heels, squeeze your glutes, fingertips to ceiling. Arms go wide, arms come down. Working into our legs, our glutes, our hips, lots of warmth. Push away. So it doesn't need to be big, keep it really small if you need to. Do that once more again, nice smooth flowing movement, reach up, push away, bring your arms slowly wide, and then bring your arms all the way down by your sides. A big shoulder roll there. Maybe just shake out your legs a little bit there as well. We don't want to hold any tension into our legs. Let's go to the end of that. So we're going to make our way down onto our hands and knees. So let's do that forward flexion again. Arms up in line with your ears this time as an option, or just have your arms by your side as we did before. You choose. So just bend your knees a little bit. Breathe in as you breathe out slowly. Just keep your arms in line with your ears or by your sides, of course, folding over. That slow release. Bend your knees as much as you need to. Look towards your knees. You fold yourself over. Put your hands on the mat. Bend your knees a lot more if you need to. Or count one to the mat. And let's come into our tabletop position. So drop your knees onto the floor, right underneath your hips. Wrists are underneath your shoulders. Your neck is long, your spine is long. Pull in through your center, lifting up, pulling in. You've got lots of support for your pelvis and your spine here. Just drawing the shoulders back and down. Breathe in. As you breathe, can you just slide your right foot along the floor, then just lift the right leg up, reaching through your toes. Just hold your pose, feel really level across your hips. Now breathe in again, and as you breathe out, we're going to tuck the chin, tuck the tail, arch your back, round the spine, and just bring your nose towards your knee underneath you. And then as you breathe in, stretch that leg away, lengthen it long out of your hips, find your long neck, your long spine, your long leg. Let's go again, nose towards the knee, shoulder blades wide across the back, scooping in, navel comes in towards the spine. Stretch away, so everything's in a straight line as you extend the leg along behind you. Let's do one more like that. Some of you might want to build on this. Keep both of the hands on the floor if you feel a little bit wobbly. Otherwise, let's keep that right leg extending away. And let's extend our left arm. So our arm, our leg, and our spine are more or less a straight line. Now breathe in. As you breathe out, exactly the same again, but we're going to bend the elbow and draw the elbow and the nose towards the knee underneath you. Tucking under. And then as you breathe in, slide the arm, leg long. So again, that length. Let's do that again. Tucking under. Both of the hands on the floor is your option, remember. Reaching away. Once more like that. Nose, elbow towards your knee, chin to chest, tuck your tail. And then just finishing off by reaching away again. Put your hand down, put your knee down. Let's reset, let's go the other side. Breathe in. As you breathe, slide your left leg away and then lift it up. Long leg, not too high, otherwise we lift the hip. Just in line with your hips and stay fairly level there, a little bit lower if you want to. Now take another in-breath. As you breathe out, nose to knee, tuck under with your chin, tuck under with your tail, bring your nose towards your knee underneath you. And then breathing in, we're going to slide that leg away again. Long spine, long neck, long leg. Coming under, tucking in, scooping in. Shoulder blades widen across your back. Shoulder blades draw down as we lengthen. Once more like that, and stay with that with both hands on the floor, if that is your option today. Otherwise, keep your left leg long. Let's extend our right arm away. Fingertips and toes reaching away from each other. Right arm, left leg. Breathe in as you breathe out. Off we go again. Nose and your elbow towards your knee this time. And reach away. So make yourself really long as we extend away. Make yourself really tiny if you can as you tuck under. Breathe in. And we just did 3 on the other side. Let's do the same this side. Nose to knee. And just finishing off by really extending away. Find your balance. Hand down, knee down. Maybe just let's sit on our heels here. Roll your shoulders, slide your shoulder blades back and down, circle your wrists, wiggling things. So a lot of weight bearing on our upper body, lots of mobility in our spine. So strengthening, lengthening, and mobilizing. So that's a really nice exercise on all fours. But now we're going to lie down. So just walk your hands forward, come onto your forearms, walk your knees back, hips come down, chest comes down. We come all the way down. Can we lie down with our arms extended long overhead? So we're going to do the breaststroke today. So it's the same principles that apply as if you're in a swimming pool doing your breaststroke, except we're just going to keep our legs still at the moment. So your arms are going to be shoulder width apart overhead. Try and pull the shoulder blades back and down towards your hips. So we're not pulling our shoulders up right ears, we're pulling the shoulders down. Palms face inwards, thumbs to ceiling, arms shoulder width apart. As always, just make sure we've got a really supported spine here. So pull your tummy away from the mat. So you've got that little space underneath your belly button. Reach your tail or your sit bones, pull them back towards the bottom end of the mat. So you're opening up your lower back. And pop your nose off the floor. Keep the length through the top of your head. So we should be ready to go. As you breathe in, just float your arms a couple of inches away from the floor. As you breathe out, we're going to turn the palms outwards, sweep your arms wide side, doing your breaststroke. Pull the arms towards the bottom end of the mat, pull your shoulder blades back and down, the chest lifts away from the floor. Then as you breathe in, bend your elbows, slide your hands underneath your shoulders, extend your arms long overhead again, we're back where we started. Exhale, your palms turn outwards, pull your arms like as if you're in a swimming pool doing your breaststroke. You pull your arms, wide side, pull them behind you, chest lifts, shoulder blades draw back and down. Elbows bend, chest releases, arms extend long overhead again. And go again, pull wide, pull back, lift the chest. Keep that space behind the back of your neck, so don't look forwards too much, don't shorten the back of your neck. Just imagine we're swimming in that swimming pool, but your legs are still, your lower back stays open, your tummy stays pulling in. Sweeping wide, lots of mobility as well as strength in our shoulders. Breathe in, breathe out, pull wide, pull back. Maybe we can just lift the arms a little bit higher, pull the shoulder blades away. Rest anytime you need to. Let's do 3 more if you can. Try not to get too much of your front of your body off the mat, maybe just the chest. Think length rather than coming up too high. Maybe you might get a rib or 2 off the floor, but that's not the challenge today. And our last one, reach wide, pulling back. And then release your chest down, stack your hands, rest your forehead light on the backs of your hands. Relax your legs, relax your upper body, your shoulders, just let your belly just rest on the floor. And just take a breath or 2 there, just to release off, just melt your front of your body into your mat. So quite a lot of work there, again, quite a lot of upper body work. So let's move on to our side now, do a little bit of work through our glutes, our hips and our legs. So like all the way down, doesn't matter which side you lie down on one side or the other. Lengthen your bottom arm. If you wanted to put a cushion in between your head and your bicep, that would be perfectly a good option. Otherwise, rest your head on your bicep. Your knees are bent, so just sweep your heels around towards the bottom, the back end of your mat. Try and line your heels up with your sit bones and your shoulders. Lots of length in both sides of the waist. So just trying to find that space there underneath your inside waist. So your hips are stacked, your knees, your feet, and your shoulders are stacked, and your neck is long. Again, lots of support through your center, that pulling up and lifting up, pulling in sensation to stabilize our pelvis and our spines. So lots of different options for you here. Clam, basic clam first of all. So work your hips, legs, glutes. So breathe in. As you breathe out, just keep your feet together and pull your top knee away from the bottom knee without moving your hips. So sit stack one on top of the other. Breathe in. Let that top knee drop down very lightly on top of your bottom knee. Pull away again. So just that opening and closing of the top knee, just like a clamshell, hence the name. Some people call it an oyster. I call it a clam, but same principle, like a shell, opening and closing. So try and find some resistance as you open. So pull away and resist as you close. So do one more like that, then we can build on that. Only if you want to, stay with this, or keep your knees down and just lift your feet off of us. So your heels are lifting up towards the ceiling. And then we can do some more clams like this. So open and close. Go really slowly, so really working these muscle groups around our hips, glutes and legs too. We're going to do two more like that. And then I am going to add in another option if you want to take it. So once more like that, you can do this third option with your feet on the floor or keep your feet lifted where they are. So your knees together, breathe in. As you breathe out, open the knees, keep the feet together. As you breathe in, just stretch your top leg away, just slightly forward so you can see your foot at the corners of your eyes. Then bring your feet together, keep the knees wide, and then close the knee. Open the knee, feet together, extend your top leg away, reach through your toes, bend that top knee again, keep the knees wide as the feet come together, and close. Let's do that twice more. Open, extend, feet together, close the knee, and last time open, extend, feet together, close the knee, feet come down, top knee, bring up and over just to release it, just let that top hip just gently release forward, so just allowing that top hip just to release, switching off around the glutes and the hip muscles there. So from there, let's just come up to seat. Let's do a little bit of seated work next. Let's do a spine twist or version of. So we've done this quite a few times before. So we did this standing with our hands to prayer. So let's do it seated. Well, I think we did this last week with our arms in that Cossack or that G position. So make sure you're sitting really nice and tall on your sit bones, long neck, long spine, ribs drawing down, chest wide and open. Then just extend your arms forward and then bend your elbows. So just resting your fingertips on opposite elbows. Try and keep your shoulders away from your ears. Keep your spine really long. For a big in breath, maybe find a little bit more length. As you breathe out, rotate again from the waist round to the left. So your left elbow is pulling back towards the wall behind you. Breathing gently, come back through center. Breathing out, right elbow goes towards the wall behind you. And back to center. So again, the whole of your upper body goes in one piece from the waist to the top of the hips, side to side. Your sit bones stay glued to the floor. Try and grow a little bit taller as we twist from side to side. Your nose stays in line with your wrists. So again, it's a very controlled movement, so rotating the spine safely and smoothly. Let's do one more of those each way. And last time, back to center. Just reach your arms up towards the ceiling, take a stretch, put your hands onto the mat by the side of your hips. Keep your legs where they are. You can bend, you can put your feet flat on the floor if it's uncomfortable in your hips. Breathe in as you breath. Take your left arm up and let's stretch out our spine sideways this time. Bring your arm back down, left arm comes up and over, but your left sit bone stays on the mat. And let's do one more of those each side. So a really nice lateral flexion of your spine with a stretch down your sideways. So we've done a few little movements through our spine already. Let's extend the legs away. If your legs are like this, just extend away and just shake out your legs just a little bit. Then we need to come onto our other side to do our clam work, our leg, glute, hip work. So like all the way down, make sure you don't do the same side twice. And it would be the first time that I've done the same side twice, but I'm trying to remember that which side you did first, and just again, just take your time. So we've got really nice alignment. So your heels, your sit bones, your shoulders are in that line with the back end of your mat, more or less. We've got both sides of the waist lengthened, so our hips, knees, feet, and our shoulders are stacked. Hand on your hip. You can put your fingertips on the floor as an option, as long as your shoulders stay stacked. Bring in that support for your spine, your pelvis lift up, pull in, and then when you're ready, feet stay together. First of all, breathe in as you breath, just pull your top knee away from your bottom knee, and breathe in very slowly, bringing that leg back down again, pull away again, exhale, slowly inhale. So again, finding that resistance as we open and close. So just like we did with the breaststroke, imagine that leg is in water, so you have to pull it up through water. And you have to press it down through water, but very lightly touch. Now let's do that twice more. And then if you remember, the options are just to stay here with both feet on the floor, open and closing. Or we keep, next time the knees are closed, we lift the heels off the floor, heels towards the ceiling. Again, try not to roll your top hip forwards or backwards. And let's go again. Exhale, open. Inhale, close. Pull away. So no movement through the hips, just that opening of your hip and that closing. One more like that, as we did on the other side. And then we did 4 more repetitions with that leg extension. So we open, extend your top leg away. Keep the knees wide as your feet come together. Close the knee. You can put your feet down and still do this leg extension if you want to. So we just did 4 like that. So it's a really nice stretch out of that top leg. And one more if you can, pull away, stretch your leg away, feet together, close your knees, put your feet down, and then bring that top knee forward. So just allowing that top hip to roll forwards, just releases off around your hips and around your glutes. Let's come up to seated again, and bring yourself towards the bottom end of the mat. So now you've got the length of the mat behind you. So again, just making sure we're sitting really nice. So we're just going to do that flexion of your spine. So we'll have moved our spine in rotation. We've done the side bend. We've done that extension of the spine lying on our front. So we're taking the spine the other way in that flexion. So nothing too complicated here. Keep it really small if you need to. Shoulders back and down. Feel that length as always in your spine before you start. If you want to keep your hands behind your thighs, feel free to do so. Otherwise, extend your arms long in front of you, so not high, but just a little bit lower or at shoulder height, so we can keep our shoulders drawing down. Breathe in, as you go, just do that little tuck under and then rounding the spine, so just rolling off your palms, just onto the back of your hips, still looking forwards, navel to spine. Use your exhale to come back up again and sit really tall at the top. Breathe in as you go, just tuck and roll. Breathe in, so when we're moving the spine today, that's when we're breathing out. We breathe in at the top, we roll back as you exhale, we breathe in as we stay here, and then breathing out, coming back. Up, sit tall. So we can build on this today, or you can just stay with this, or you can rest any time you need to. If you feel you want to try it, let's extend our legs long, toes to ceiling. Same position for your arms, spine, shoulders, and just we're going to go all the way down. So breathe in as you breathe out, imprint your spine, slowly releasing your spine down onto the mat. So as you breathe in, your head and shoulders are on the floor. Take your arms back towards the floor behind you. Then as you breathe in, fingertips come up towards the ceiling, arms over your shoulders. Then as you lift your head and see if you can peel your spine away from that. So working through your core, sit really tall at the top. Breathe in as you breathe out. If you can't do that, I'll show you another option. So carry on with that, or if you can't, peel your spine away from that. Take your arms towards the floor behind you. Circle your arms wide to side. Take your hands behind your thighs. Lift your head and shoulders off the floor and roll yourself up. Then you can slide your heels away, reach your arms forward, and then go all the way down. So going down, that's the easier. It's still quite hard to do it nice and smooth. It's that coming up. So roll yourself up like a ball if you need to. Otherwise, take your arms back in line with your ears. Breathe in, arms come right up over your shoulders. Breathe out, chin to chest, peel your spine away from the mat. Sit really nice and tall. Let's go again. I'll show you the rolling up like a ball version again. Otherwise, stay with that harder version that we just did. So if you want to roll up like a ball, arms circle wide, knees to chest, hands behind your thighs, look at your thighs, roll yourself up and slide your heels away, reach your arms forward. Do one more, whichever version you choose to do, the harder version, or roll it like a ball, or just stay down and stretch if you want to. Last time, arms to ceiling, let's peel our spines away, sit really tall when your shoulders are right. That's when we rebuild. Then we lift our arms up towards the ceiling. If you want a really good stretch, just fold yourself over your legs. Bend your knees if you need to. So your nose is towards your knees, your hands towards your toes, your chest towards your thighs. Breathe in. As you breathe out, unfold yourself, arms in line with your fingertips to ceiling. Circle your arms wide side, bring your arms forward. We're going to lie all the way down this time. So go all the way down and put your hands on the mat if you want to. Go onto your side if you need to come down more safely. Arms go back. And then let's take a really good stretch. Once your head and shoulders are right on the floor, take your arms all the way to the floor behind you and just reach away through your fingertips and through your toes. Full body stretch. You can allow your back to lift a little bit away from that as long as that doesn't pinch. Shoulder blades can be wide, just gently pressing down into the floor. Lengthening as we stretch, and then just circle your arms wide side and very slowly, gently let your arms settle on the mat down by your sides. Then let us slide our feet in one at a time. So always try and do one leg at a time, whether we're lifting and lowering them, sliding them in, putting them down. Just safer always to one leg at a time rather than two legs at the same time. So let's focus a little bit more on pelvic stability, on extension of our legs again, and our arms for our shoulders. So again, just making sure we've got a really good posture before we start. So heels in line with your knees and your hip bones. So your legs are hip width apart. Long neck, put your head on a cushion if you want to. Keep your neck long, keep the back of your neck open. Shoulders wide, chest is wide, shoulder blades are wide across your back on the mat. Arms by your sides, turn your palms inwards to face your hips. Your thumbs are pointing up towards the ceiling. Pull in through your centre, making sure that your lower back's on the floor so your pelvis is in that neutral position, which is in between that tip and that tilt. So making sure that your two hip bones, your pelvic bone, your belly button, they're more or less on that level plane, and then just make sure you've got a nice connection, so pulling in and lifting up. So we don't want any movement in the lower back at all. So palms facing in, breathe in. As you breathe out, let's take the left leg, stretch it towards the bottom end of the mat as your right arm goes back towards the floor behind you. Left leg pulls in, the arm comes back down by your side, so that opposite arm and the opposite leg. No movement in your lower back. If you feel that your lower back just starts to lift a little bit away from the floor as you stretch your leg away, don't extend it fully. Maybe just take it halfway like that, and then you can pull it back in. Or alternatively, you could slide your heel along the floor, which would give you a little bit more stability. So let's take two arms back. This time as an option as you extend your left leg away. Bring the arms back down by your sides as you bring the leg in. Right leg reach away, two arms go back. Try not to let your rib cage pull away too much from your hips. Arms come down, foot comes in. Do one more of those each side, lots of leg, but try not to pull your shoulder blades up or your shoulders even up by your ears. Let's do that right leg. So just the legs only, just the arms only if you wanted to. We always have options, remember. Let's change that a little bit. Extend your left leg away as your arms go back. And then sweep your arms, big circle your arms wide to the sides. The arms come by your hips as your left foot comes next to your right foot. Two arms go back as your right leg stretches away. The arms circle wide to the side. They draw in as the foot comes down. One more of those each side. So again, lots of length. Focus on your breathing as well. So remember to breathe laterally into the sides of your rib cage, into your back, so we can keep that sort of scooping in feeling through our centre. Last time like that, and just step your arms, let them rest light on the mat down by your side. Reset everything. So bring the focus up the body a little bit to our upper core, but still keeping those lower abdomens, still pulling in and lifting up to support your pelvis. Let's turn our palms downwards now to face the mat. So your fingertips are reaching towards the bottom end of the mat. Keep the neck long, keep a little space in between your chin and your chest. Breathe in. As you breathe out, let's slowly lift the head and peel your shoulder blades off the floor. Reach your fingertips towards like the outside of your ankle bones. Then that scoop inwards and breathing in, coming back down again. Exhaling, curling up. So we don't need to come up too high. So maybe some of you might get onto the tips of your shoulder blades. Don't worry if you can't come that high. Reaching through your fingertips. So maybe we can just look over the tops of our knees here. So just focusing on these upper abdominal muscles and pulling them in and scooping in, really reaching away. Try not to let your tailbone tuck under as you cut. So let's stillness again in your lower back. Let's do that twice. I've got a challenge coming up now, so we're going to work in the 100 today. Let's go again. So see how you go with this. I'm going to give you lots of options now. So let's curl up again. Can we stay here? So you're looking just towards the tops of your knees, your arms are hovering off the mat, you're scooping in. I'm going to start to pump our arms, breathing in through the nose of 5, out through the mouth of 5. So just using your arms, it's like a counting mechanism really. 5 pumps for an in breath, 5 for an out breath. Head and shoulders down anytime you need to. If you want a little bit more, lift your feet off the floor and bring your legs to a tabletop position. So your knees are over your hips, your heels are in line with your knees. You might just be looking in between your thighs here. Breathing in through the nose and breathing out through your mouth. So head and shoulders down if you want to. You can put one foot on the floor and do a couple of breaths and then to just switch over or just stay here. So remember, lots of strength through our center, long arms, strong breaths. Everything else is really still, except for our beating arms, like you've got tennis balls underneath the palms of your hands and just bouncing them up and down. Try and make sure you're not feeling any tension in the back of the neck, head and shoulders down if you are. Try and keep your head over your shoulders. And let's do that 2 more times, 2 more sets of breaths if you can. So really good for core strength, really good for strengthening your abdominals. And then when you've done that last set, release your head and shoulders down, hands on your knees, give your knees a really big hug. You might just want to gently turn your head from side to side, especially if you felt there was some tension building up, which there shouldn't be, but there might well be. So just gently turn your head from side to side. With your thighs close to your chest, and as you'll feel the spine, most of the spine is on the mat now, so you can just take a little gentle rock from side to side, just allowing your spine to massage into the mat. So from there, let's put our feet slowly back down on the floor. So nearly always, we like to incorporate bridges into our sequences, so it's really, so we're working through most of the major muscle groups in the body. So in our shoulder bridges, lots of focus onto the back, the hamstrings, and lots of focus onto the glutes. So let's do that next. So if you did put anything behind your head, a cushion or anything, just slip that away. Make sure the back of your head's on the mat, still keeping the back of your neck long, so chin slightly tucked in. The heels, if you remember, they're just that little bit closer to your sit bones, about a hand distance away from your sit bones. Knees and feet still hip width. Your pelvis is still in that neutral position before we start, and lots of support through your sense again, pulling and lifting up. So just have your arms on the mat down by your sides, probably with the palms facing down, so that's going to give you a little bit more stability. You should be ready to go. Breathe in. As you breathe out, tuck your tail under first of all, and then squeeze your glutes and slowly peel as much of the spine away as you want to. Come all the way up onto your shoulders if you can, but that's only an option. So in your bridge, nice straight line, kneecap down to your armpit, and then when next exhale, slowly releasing your spine back down onto the mat. So all the while, your knees stay hip width apart, your hips, they stay level, there's 2 hip bones, and just imagine you've got that spirit level just balancing across those 2 hip bones. That stays completely square to the floor of the ceiling, all the way up and all the way down. So we don't want to find we're leaning over to one side or the other. So always remembering to Pilates, just trying to find that balance, trying to equalize both sides of the body in mobility and strength. Let's lift up again, peel away. up we come. And again, try not to pop your rib cage up, keep that your rib to hip alignment as best as you can. Focus on that strength in the back of the body, your glutes. Shall we? Let's come up again, only if you feel you can. Let's just stay up in our bridge. Okay, come out of it anytime you want to. Turn your palms inwards to face your hips, thumbs pointing up towards the ceiling. Breathe in. As you breathe out, just lift your left heel away from the floor and take your right arm back towards the floor behind you. Inhale, your left heel drops back down onto the floor, your right arm comes back down by your side. Left heel lifts, so you just lift your heel, not the whole of the foot, just the heel, as a left arm goes back, heel comes down, arm comes back down by your side. So just take a very slow little walk through your feet, those marching arms. Keep it nice and slow. Heels only, or just the arms only. If you want to keep both the heels on the floor, feel free. Let's just do one more of those each side. If you feel you start to sink, come down out of your bridges. Really important, fight to maintain that length. Last time, right to your left arm. Arms come down, breathe in. Both your heels are on the floor. Slowly release your spine all the way down onto the mat. So that should feel like a really nice release of your spine. Then just again, one foot off the floor at a time. Hug your knees in nice and close. And let's take a little gentle rock from side to side. So let's build on this theme. Let's keep our knees in. Pin your knees and your feet together. Just softly point your toes so your thighs are towards your chest. Let your hands rest gently on top of your knees. Keep your shoulders wide, keep your neck long. Breathe in, your knees come in. As you breathe, just circle your knees away, around and in to whack towards your chest. Breathe in, go the other way. So it's just like you're running a circle on the ceiling with your knees. Keep your knees and feet pinned together, or just join a circle with your hips and your lower back around and around the mat. So just alternating the direction of that circle. So you might feel when your knees go over to the left, your right hip lifts off the floor. Your left hip might lift off the floor as your knees go to the right. Just depends how big you make your circles. So just again, it just should feel like quite a nice soothing movement around your hips and your lower back. So again, still pulling into your center. If you want to make that just a little bit bigger, keep your knees in, take your arms a little bit wider than your mat, have your palms on the floor. So we're really stabilizing our body with our arms and our shoulders. So your shoulders and your arms are glued to the floor. Now breathe in. As you breathe out, let's take the knees over to the left and your right hip lifts off. Just draw a bigger circle on the ceiling. Your knees are going to come over to the right and then your knees come back in towards your chest and go the other way. That nice circle around the mat with your hips, your lower back. Make them really small if you want, or still do this with your hands on your knees to a little bit of help to stabilize maybe. And go again. Keep going with that. Don't need to make them too big, but use your abdomen, use your waist muscles to control that movement. Last time. And then bring your knees back in towards your chest. Put your feet on the floor. One at a time, slide your legs away. Take your arms wide to the side. Take your arms over your head. Stretch it all out. Again, that full body stretch. Take a breath as we stretch it all out. Take your arms wide to the side, bring your arms in, let them rest lightly on the mat, down by your side, slide your feet in one at a time. Again, if you want to put your head back on your cushion or your block, just pop that underneath your head now. Just take a moment now, just going to just start to open up the hips a little bit, just a bit of stretching for our upper body. So knees and feet hip width apart. Making sure we're nice and supported again through our center. As you breathe in, just let your knees fall away from each other, opening up your hips, so you're just coming onto the outside of both of your feet, and then breathing out, pull the knees back in towards each other, so your feet go flat on the floor. And go again, just a little bit of a hip opener, just a bit of stretch into your inner thighs, you should feel there as well. Exhale, pull in. Just nice, slow, gentle movement. Let's do that twice more. And last time, so the knees forward, almost like we bring our legs into that butterfly pose. Then pull the knees in. Then let's float the arms up over our shoulders. Sink your shoulder blades down into that fingertips to ceiling. Breathing in, we're going to reach our right fingertips up towards the knee. Just peel your right shoulder blade off the floor. Breathing out, keep your right shoulder blade wide as you just drop it back down onto the mat. Breathing in, lift your left fingertip like you're trying to reach something off the ceiling with your left fingertips. Your left shoulder blade peels away. Keep it wide as we drop it back down again. So it's just a really nice release when the shoulder blade drops down. So it's a really, if you've got tense shoulders at any time, this is a really nice stretch and release. Last time, left fingertips reach up and then drop your shoulder blade down onto the mat. So from there, just let your arms go over your head. Bend your arms over your head, bend your elbows over your head, fold your arms, let your arms settle over your head with your arms folded. Then walk your knees and your feet together. And then just let your knees fall away from each other, but let the soles of your feet come together. So we're in our extended butterfly pose here. So chest, shoulders open, hips are open. If that's uncomfortable in your hips, just bring your legs together. They don't need to be wide like this. It's just a really nice release. So get that opening into your hips. And with your arms overhead, just sink your shoulder blades into that. And try and feel it. You try and melt the whole of your body. Your head, your shoulders, your hips, your feet. You try and melt them into the mat. And just take a breath or two there. And never long enough. Then pull your knees in towards each other. Reach your arms long overhead. Take your arms wide to the side. Let your arms rest on the mat down by your sides. Maybe a little bit wider than your mat. And then with your feet flat on the floor before you start. As you breathe in, just drop your knees over to the left. Keep your knees pinned together so your right foot lifts off the floor and turn your head the other way. And then bring your knees to the ceiling, look up at the ceiling. And then take your knees over to the right and turn your head to the left. So just letting, again, that hip lift off the floor if you can. But keep your shoulder blades, your arms glued to the floor. Just a little gentle roll across your hips, side to side. And just a very small, gentle turn of the head. So just a little twist in your spine. Last time, knees to the right, head turns to the left. Knees to ceiling, feet go flat on the floor. Then we're going to come up to seat. So if you want to roll over onto your side and push yourself up, do that. Otherwise, bring your knees in towards your chest, lift your head and shoulders off the floor. Just widen that space behind your knee and roll yourself up if you can come up safely that way. So let's take a little bit of stretch here. So let's sit really nice and tall. Just slide your legs a little bit wider than your hips if you can. So your heels are wider than your hip bones. Toes to ceiling. So a little bit of flexion in your feet. So you'll feel that active in your hamstrings and your calves as well. If that's really uncomfortable sitting like that, bend your knees. So take a little bit of tension out the back of your legs. Just put your fingertips on the floor in between your thighs. Then slide the fingertips along the floor forwards, going around the spine as we do so. So take a big in breath. As you breathe, just drop your chin towards your chest. Just slide your fingertips in a straight line along the floor in front of you. Big bend in the knees if you need. You're only going as far as you think you can go. So just bring your head and your chest down towards the floor. Shoulder blades wide across your back. Breathe in as you breathe out. Slowly pull your tummy in. Slide your fingertips back in towards your tailbone. And rebuild your spine. Sit really tall at the top. Then just slide your legs together, feet still flexed, toes to ceiling. Let's lift our arms up over your shoulders this time in line with your ears. Breathe in. As you breathe out, just fold your arms, fold your chest, your arms over your legs, so reaching for your toes. Breathe in as you breathe, arms in line with your ears, unfold yourself, fingertips to ceiling. Take your arms wide to the side and then just cross your legs. So slide your legs in, cross your legs, or keep your legs long if you prefer. Make sure you're sitting on your sit bones, whether your legs are crossed or whether your legs are long. Sit nice and tall. Let's just reach our arms forward, shoulder height, shoulder width apart, long spine. Big in breath. We're going to reach your arms wide, so start to look up at the ceiling. Lift your chest if you can, take your arms wide. Maybe pull the arms slightly behind you, pull your shoulders in towards each other. And then as you breathe out, rounding your spine, circle your arms in front of you, chin to chest, bring your fingertips together in front of you, circle your arms, pull the shoulder blades wide across your back. Breathing in, restack your spine, sit tall as you reach your arms wide to the sides again. And then just bring your hands over your head, bring your hands together. And then just slowly slide your hands down towards the center of your chest. Feel your shoulder blades slide down towards the base of your spine.